Hey, what's going on, everybody? Kaylee hype, Candy Coated Thorns hype, Chumley Kids hype, Moon Scented Hunter hype, all sorts of hype. J Map, SJ Mappler, Minions, Jimmy Good. Hi, everybody. So this is gonna be a little different than I had originally planned. I don't even know if we're gonna archive this puppy. Let me know if everything sounds okay and looks okay. As you can see, oh, it's actually doing a little. That's a fun little crazy error. So as you can see, I got Adobe Premiere up here because I use Adobe Premiere to cut. But look, it's already made. Like, you're getting weird little artifact things. So like, I'm not seeing that. So what I did not realize would happen. Let me actually try to like take that away and then bring it back. Let's see if that fixes everything. Yeah, so it fixes that. So what you'll notice is two big gray boxes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if you actually don't see that. But that's what I see in XSplit, and that's definitely not what I see on my computer. I got a shot up there from Chapter 1. It's when it's when Mr. Ben Moore here finds the cemetery, and in the over here in this window, I got the Easy Allies review open. So gray boxes. That's no good. So I don't know how to do that. So let me actually. I'm adding another window in XSplit. So actually, I had a thought. Let me check. Let me see. Game capture. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. Never mind. I'll remove that. So yeah, I'm basically saying there's this thing happening. It's in a window. Go check it out. Throw that into XSplit. But we can at least talk about reviews for a little bit. And even though I can't show you, let me see if I can move these up and make space without messing all that. Oh, nice. That looks okay. What I can do is I can cut the music. I can cut my voiceover, and I can cut the music because I have all of the music. Here's all of the awesome footage that I can't show you. From all the different chapters from Dragon Quest Builders. Got lots of different clips because there's lots of different things to see. With different games, you would maybe capture stuff by level. Like I'm about to finish capturing footage for Call of Duty, and so I'm capturing those like by multiplayer match or level. Like I might get like 10 clips per level, but they're always like if I need a clip from that level, I can go back and find it. I decided to label these by chapters. Sometimes I number them chronologically, but I didn't really find a purpose because it's like if I just want to find me building something, I just type in build, and boom, it's like all these different clips pop up of me building stuff. But you do lots of building in this game. So if I can figure out what's going on with XSplit and get it so the video actually shows up or figure out some way around that, then maybe we can do a sequel to this someday with another review where I will have already cut the voiceover and the music before we sit down to hang out together and do some creative stuff, and we'll pick up from there. So this will be basically like the first part. So what I do, which is kind of... and let me know if everything sounds okay, actually. Let me throw a music track in there and just let it roll. Let me know if that sounds okay to everybody. Sounds good? Okay, cool. Because it's low. We usually keep games low when we do audio, and so it's low. It's low like the settings, but I got XSplit right there, so I can change that. Playing a little somber, playing a little chill daytime music jumped Mr. T Money right into the subscriber bin. Thank you so much. You're a subscriber now, and I'm about to throw in some VO from yours truly. So what I do, which is overkill, but you know me. Is I cut the music and the VO first. If you're in a super hurry, you can do just the VO and just drop footage on it and then kind of make the music an afterthought. But I really like the music to be very intentional to drive it. And, after cutting so many of these for so many years, I have like ideas about what should go in what order. But before I do that, I drop in my voiceover. So for those of you that don't edit, that are just like, what is happening right now? Don't worry about these two guys up here. That's how I can see this is basically to watch the edit. So when I hit spacebar and the sequence goes, it'll show the actual thing you're cutting in this window. And this window is for, on the top right, is for, I mean, you can put them wherever you want, but this is the program window. This is the source window, which means if I double click on any of these things, so now you can see there's like audio files up there. And you can see waveforms and everything. And you can see waveforms down here on the sequence. You have your list of clips up here, pretty self-explanatory if you do, use computers, basically. But the sequence is a little tricky. So you can see these 3 lines up top. That's my video. I can add more lines if I want. I think I'm only going to need 3 for this. I'm not going to need any for the stream I'm going to do right now, unfortunately. I'm mostly going to be on the bottom here. And I can stretch these things out and make these bigger if I want. And I can move them around. So this is like audio. And if you put 2 things on top of each other, you'll hear both of those at the same time. What I like to think of is, if you're going to understand a sequence, imagine like there's a human being up here, and they're staring straight downward. And so if you put 2 video files on top of each other, you're always going to see the one that's on top. So this actually has, well, we can't show it to you, but like the Easy Allies wipe that goes in the beginning. This basically has something built into it where as long as I drop a video file underneath, it'll automatically wipe the thing over it. So nice and easy. I've done graphics before that were like super complicated every time. So let's see if I want to make sure. T-Money 58 subscribed. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. What's this program's name? This is Adobe Premiere. I learned to cut on Adobe Premiere like 20 years ago. And then I moved on to Avid and Media 100 when I was in college. And then moved from Media 100 to Final Cut. And then Final Cut made Final Cut 10, which is super weird. So I moved over to Premiere. And I like Premiere, but editing's like riding a bike. As long as you figure it out, you can jump on a crazy bike. Did you ever got to build the Slime Liar? It uses to make music to make 8-bit melody version of itself. I have not. There's a lot of things in this game that I haven't done. But I'll have Mr. Brandon Jones here tell you about it. So, as you can see, there are clear waveform blocks. So that's how I do voiceover. I always pick the last take every time. And then if I listen to the review and I don't like it, maybe I'll replace it later. But if I'm cutting something, especially if I'm cutting something that I'm reading, obviously because I do the voiceover, I always make sure to just, when I'm done with that last take, be like, do I like it? Okay, good. I'm comfortable with that, so I will pick it automatically. It makes the edit go a lot faster. Also makes editing go a lot faster if you're not hanging out and talking with people in chat. But so you can see kind of the starts and stops of
fans of both fans of both
yeah, these are all just different takes.
By combining the environment.
This is the intro.
Fans of both zone. Fans of both.
So boom. So that means right here is our intro. So this is the last time I did this take.
By combining the environment creation of Minecraft and the story and characters from one of their oldest brands, Square Enix has created something special in Dragon Quest Builders. You'll likely enjoy it if you're a fan of either Minecraft or Dragon Quest, but it brings enough new ideas to stand on its own.
Sounds exciting. I'm probably going to want to raise the level. Actually, I'll just do that right away. I usually raise these up to like around 3 or something. But yeah. So again, this might be interesting to get a rough, kind of perspective on an art maybe that you don't do. A lot of the stuff is apparent that like when I'm on camera or streaming or playing games. But I do a lot of this. I just don't do a lot of this while I'm streaming. Fair warning. This could get real dull. So I explained basically how that works. Now I'm going to do this down the line. And you might not hear from me for about 5-10 minutes. You'll hear from, me, the me of, 20 minutes ago when I recorded this voiceover. But editing can be a bit dull, which is why I love working in video games, because it's really fun to watch footage. It's really fun to experience someone else's play session through a multitude of their clips and the stuff that they use to showcase the game, along with their script. So here we go, voiceover. Let's see if anybody... Will this have a pun or joke at the end? No. And I might just kind of huff. I might just kind of rush through this, but then we'll listen to the whole thing before I start doing the music.
Fans of both...
Fans is the magic word.
Fans of Minecraft.
It's fun, too, because if I really mess up on a particular paragraph, if I really have a tough time, I can see just like 5 takes in a row where I just tried and tried and tried and then finally got it. And while I'm cutting the VO, I just fly right past it. It's like, oh yeah, I remember when that was really frustrating. Moving on.
Minecraft
fans.
Builders is...
There we go. Boop. So all these cuts I'm doing right now are super sloppy. I'm just like separating the clips, so... And I try to do everything paragraph by paragraph. Full confession. save a lot. If you're an editor, save a lot. Sometimes when other people are editing the scripts that I'm reading, if I mess up right in the middle, I'll just pick it up and keep reading, which sucks because it means they have to do like another little micro edit in the middle of editing. But it's just like, well, as long as I don't have to do it. So yeah, sorry. If Ian or Dawn is watching, sorry.
Builders is not as the game is divided.
I do at least 2 takes, just in case something happens. There's like a weird pop or there's like it starts getting clicky or something.
The game is divided into. The game is divided into.
Yeah, this was a tough one.
You have to play the chapters.
Oh, got it right on this time. I don't cut on this machine too. I don't cut on the PC. I actually got this set up today. This is the first time. This is the first thing I've ever cut. And I usually work on a Mac, so I mean the PC version is not really different or anything. But Control S is your best friend for sure. Sorry, I'm like kind of ignoring chat. Let's get close, chat. Come on over. Let's get intimate. We got some work to do. Honestly, looking for doll. Yeah, I mean, it's the other thing too. You know, it's day after election, so it's like a lot of people that plan things today are like, maybe shouldn't have planned that thing for today. But it's like, if it's dull, and I'm going to be talking about Builders, which is like came out like 2 weeks ago. It's like, it's not a very risky stream. Apologies. Wouldn't it be better to make a loud noise at the end of a series of takes so easily known by the waveform where the last take is? Yeah. If you're just starting to edit, for me, I've looked at waveforms of my voice for over 10 years now, so it's so simple. Just boop, boop, boop. It's also, yeah, that would be annoying while I was reading it. You know, that would just be annoying. So it's better to work around it while I'm here. Now I lost my train of thought. Where's this?
The game is divided into 4.
Okay.
You have to play the chapters in order, and each one. You have to play the chapters in order.
It's funny. So this looks like. So my prediction here is I did this take perfectly, and then started it here and messed up, and then started over the next paragraph. Or maybe this is like, is that a cough or a burp? That's a cough. Okay. But I probably got that right.
The act of piling. You have to play the chapter.
Yeah, I nailed both of these takes. 1 and then 2, moved on. Had a nice little cough there. So this would be take 2.
The act of piling things on top of each.
Which is not as long as this one, so it looks like I screwed up. What did I do?
Earth blocks. Building. Instantly turning columns of earth blocks.
Okay. Why'd you mess up this time?
Wall building. Instantly turning columns of earth blocks.
Blocks was on the next line of the script. So I kept just saying earth, and then I would go to the next line of sentence, and it would say blocks. So I'd be like, ah.
They call it. Cladding and flooring also speeds up wall building, instantly calling.
So yeah, this paragraph sucks.
The act of piling things on top of each other.
Sometimes.
The act of piling things on top of each other.
There we go. So sometimes my mic gets a little poppy. And it's really frustrating. And it did that while I was reading this. So I had to read. So from this point on, so we've already chopped that down. But from this point on, I had to redo the script because the audio was bad. And then this is a fun little trick. You select that file. You Control-C for copy. Right-click on there, paste attributes, and you can paste all sorts of fun stuff. So you can tell these clips, make all these other clips like it. I just want to make the volume the same. All right.
The monsters roaming each island drop you. The monster builders is also.
It's fun too because you guys haven't heard the script, so you guys are gonna get a little advance on a super late review. But
builders is also. The monsters.
Builders is also what?
Builders is also not short.
I don't record the VO in Premiere. I record it in Audacity, which is I believe you can get for PC as well, but I have it for Mac. So sorry. Do you currently have no video footage in the edit, or is yeah, Joetown? I don't have. I mean, I can drop something in there. I can show you what that like looks like. You know, it's like there's a clip. You should. You know. There's Ben having a chat with one of the NPCs from the beginning. You should see it up here, but Alas. Oh, there's me taking a drink. Nice. Put the drink down.
The monsters roaming. Builders is also not short. Builders is also not short. Builders is also not short. Dragon Quest build.
I wrote a long script. I couldn't help it.
Dragon Quest builders can be very despite its simplicity and rough edges. Press X a lot. The day and night cycle is too short. It can take a bit to figure out. The day.
Actually,
you have to press X a lot.
That's actually all one nice clean take. I'm going to take that. I'm going to skip you. Which again, like Ian couldn't do what I just did because I remember doing that when I read the take. So it's like, oh yeah, I remember that first one being good. So let me use the first one instead.
Despite
the fact it can be super annoying, I couldn't stop playing it.
If the story is too Dragon Quest Builders is one of the best.
Oh, there we go. That sounds like a conclusion right there. I read that several times.
Don't hesitate to start chipping away.
Wah, wah. There's your pun. Get it? Chipping away at the game, but you also chip away at blocks. And there's your little patron message at the end. Boom! So yeah, I usually take little breaks. I usually I'm gonna go get a Coke now. I'll get up and actually don't have a beverage here, but there's VO. So that's like phase one, and then I bring in music and I figure out how long I'm gonna make you listen to any of these blocks without bringing in another music track, and the differences in the music, and of course the relationship of the music to what it is I'm saying. One track I'm gonna grab right away. I'm tempted to do it just because I've never cut an actual Dragon Quest anything before. But I'm going to, what's the cutscene intro? There we go. I'm just gonna grab. What's cool is you can, if there's a little film icon under the thing. If I grab that, I just grab the video and I can bring that in by itself, or I can just grab the audio and bring that in by itself. And that is the Dragon Quest theme, which looks like it starts right around there. Oh no, it starts right there. So I want that to end it. Like that's before the last paragraph. Get Ian in there. A little poppiness in there too. Might have to re-record that. Nope. Nope. What am I doing? So one of the keys, if you're cutting stuff that has voiceover, is if you're gonna have music underneath it and you want to have a little intro like that, one of the keys to editing is taking things that should be very disorienting and making them not so. And so if you're listening to a piece of music, especially a theme like that you're familiar with, you don't want it to go away. You don't want it, what I just did, and I'm dropping the volume, and then here I come, and I'm gonna start talking. You're like, shut up, Jones, I'm listening to the Dragon Quest theme. That's one of my favorite themes. So if I'm gonna make a change in the song, you gotta do it at a point that feels like something should change there. So at the end of a verse, or the end of what you would call it, the actual lines, in sheet music, but right at a point where the music's making some shift, so it lessens the blow on your brain of oh yeah, okay, it sounded like something was going to happen there anyway. Little Coke with Mexican flavor is one of the standard window layouts. If you customize it, just notice the big audio levels in the far right. Yeah, I pushed everything to the right, so I'd have more room in the sequence here. And I would move it, but it screws with the XSplit when I move it around. So you can hear how it doesn't sound totally absurd for me to come in and start talking at this point. Especially if you've listened to the whole review so far of me, like, doing this move, basically.
Easy Allies reviews are made possible by
Oops.
generous viewers just like you.
Not that clip. That clip.
Dragon Quest Builder.
That's control, right? No. What is it on PC? No. There we go.
Dragon Quest Builders is one of the best evolutions of the Minecraft model, and it features the sights and...
Sounds like the music's a little hot. So I'm going to keep that. I usually keep it around... Yeah, 21 sounds good for that. And you just kind of like retain these silly numbers. And if I do that to make it go down to the next row, I can create another row. Because I'm going to want to do that to make the music overlap. Let's see where the music winds up when I'm done talking about the ending.
One you'd like to make your own, don't hesitate to start chipping away.
So that right there, that's where the music's going to stop getting louder. So again, it feels like kind of natural.
Or chipping away.
So the music's gonna get lower there. It's gonna stop there. And then I'm gonna tell you to give us money on Patreon.
Easy Allies.
Coming a little sooner.
Easy Allies.
Even sooner. Get on that music. Oh, one of the things also, if you can see just these lines, I know for people who aren't familiar with Premiere, there's all sorts of wacky stuff going on right now. But this is basically the points. You know, if you're familiar with After Effects or Premiere or any kind of music editing software, you know, loud, quiet. These points indicate exactly where that changes. And so it's really nice when you have a big like blah, like audio sound to kind of drop that right on top of the point where it stops changing and flattens out. So you're listening to one thing and you miss the other thing changing.
Easy Allies reviews are made possible.
See, even could be back a little bit. See, I
Easy
I
Allies
take way too long in doing this stuff.
to help us make more.
And then to help us make more.
To help us make more.
So like right on the more, I'm gonna start getting louder. That little drum hit's gonna be when it gets. Then we're gonna get super quiet as we go out. Oh, perfect. Nice. And Premiere does this weird thing where... Actually, that's kind of perfect. Nope. Nope. There. One of the things that I still prefer a little bit in Final Cut as opposed to Premiere is whenever you do, I always do these kind of audio outs. I'll rarely do an actual, like, you can do this too. Add like a default transition that's just like, get quiet. But I like the lines better because I find the video dissolves and the audio dissolves in Premiere are really abrupt and weird. Like they start to get quiet and then boom, just like bottom off at the end. And Premiere didn't do that. Premiere was, Final Cut Pro. It was more of actually like a straight line. And so I find what I have to do, it doesn't matter with this because it has a kind of a beautiful ending right here, but like I take a point right around the middle and just drop it. So like it gets quiet faster and then by the time that audio totally goes out, it doesn't sound weird. It sounds like the music was supposed to end there. Let me grab some, as long as I'm here. Let me grab some black video, which is exactly that. Put it in the graphics folder there, and just at the end. Because that's probably where our video's going to go out. Okay, so I jumped ahead a little bit. So we had our fun little... music ending, but I'm going to bring all of these clips together. enjoys Harmony, and check chat to see if I've missed any subs. We're going to listen to this sucker. Just to make sure we got the whole thing there. Hey, everybody. Avid is definitely quirky, but Avid is good if you're... You can cut really, really fast if you're very good at Avid. Okay. Seems like everybody's chilling. I don't expect this to be an absolute dynamo, huge earner of a stream. But, so yeah, we're going to listen to this, and if you permit me, we're going to listen to this a little fast. Just to make sure everything's okay, that I grab the right takes and everything. Here we go.
By combining the environment creation of Minecraft and the story and characters from one of their oldest brands, Square Enix has created something special in Dragon Quest Builders. You'll likely enjoy it if you're a fan of either Minecraft or Dragon Quest, but it brings enough new ideas to stand on its own. Fans of both franchises will find a lot that's familiar. The story suggests that the hero of the original Dragon Quest chose to join the evil Dragon Lord at the end, and this decision sent the world into an age of darkness. As the legendary builder prophesied to mend the kingdom's wounds, you bring light to the world one block at a time, battling iconic DQ monsters from slimes to golems. Minecraft fans will recognize the tried and true format of piling on dirt and stone during the day, then protecting your creations from monsters at night. As you venture out into the world, you discover materials allowing you to fashion new tools, weapons, and armor, which let you travel even further. You need to collect or grow food to stay alive, and different recipes are fashioned at different workstations. Builders is not as unforgiving as Minecraft can be. Lava doesn't kill you as fast, you don't drop all of your items when you die, and Chimera wings conveniently fly you back to base. With the map divided into islands that can't be reached by boat or bridge, this world is not as wide open as randomly generated maps in other games, but it's how Builders shows you what it's made of that sets it apart.
Oh, really?
The game is divided into 4 story chapters in a free-for-all mode called Terra Incognita. Each chapter begins with you planting your flag at a base in need of repair. Remodel it and more people will show up, asking you to build specific types of rooms, pick up new recipes, and head out into the world to find useful items or other survivors. During the day, the townsfolk will operate various workstations and produce random goods to lend a hand, or control and defend the base. Certain stations dictate the clothes they wear and weapons they wield, and you can assign people to sleep in specific rooms.
Cool.
You have to play the chapters in order, and each one ends with you saying goodbye to all the NPCs in your base, all the materials you've collected, and most of the recipes you've learned. This can be a shock the first time around, but it does a good job of resetting your goals, giving you a chance to start over with the skills you've acquired to build a better base with new stuff. The types of rooms and defenses you put together correspond to the plight of the local residents. People living in your base don't always get along, keeping secrets from each other and sometimes casting doubt on the decisions you have to make. Some moments have made us laugh, and others deal with subject matter we weren't expecting in a game about stacking dirt blocks. The act of piling things on top of each other is smooth and intuitive. Builders uses a third-person camera, sadly missing the first-person viewpoint for Minecraft. You can reset the camera to get into smaller spaces, but it doesn't always end up where you want. Unlike Minecraft, however, the shoulder buttons are used to aim up or down and strafe left and right, letting you drop rows of blocks with ease. Cladding and flooring also speeds up wall building, instantly turning columns of blocks into other materials. There's also an item called the Colossal Coffer that can be accessed when you're away from your base, so you don't have to stop mining when your inventory fills up. The monsters roaming each island drop useful items, but not experience. Your character doesn't level up, your base does, and sometimes you need to raise its level to move on to the next quest. You take and deal more damage by building better armor and weapons, and each chapter focuses on different types. It can be horrific to watch an enemy tear a massive gash into your base, but Builders is not a tough game. If you keep on track with the story only going where it leads, you won't face anything you can't handle. The challenge comes from finding what you need and figuring out where to put it. Builders is also not short. Each chapter takes a couple of hours to finish, and that's without adding any kind of flourish to your base. Each island drop useful items, but not experience. Out where to put it. Builders is also not short. Each chapter takes a couple of hours to finish, and that's without adding any kind of flourish to your base. If you're like us, you want to spend some time experimenting with new creations like Holy Water, which turns ashen wastelands into green hills, or railroad tracks, which make getting to specific locations a lot faster. When you finish a chapter, the game checks off whether or not you've completed certain activities, encouraging you to reload an older save file and find the hidden quests you missed, or to complete the chapter in a limited number of in-game days. Dragon Quest Builders can be very captivating, but there's definitely room for improvement as Square Enix develops a sequel. The AI of your subjects can be charming, but also frustrating when they get in the way or start climbing around. Tracking multiple quests can be confusing. Combat is extremely basic. Outside of the Zelda-esque spin attack and some upgraded weapons later on, it's just a lot of bopping and slashing. The chapter-ending boss fights can be epic, but sometimes they require brand new strange mechanics that can take a bit to figure out. The day and night cycle is too short, and the transitions are abrupt. There's no rising sun or setting moon. But one misstep that still has us scratching our heads is the fact that you can only build one item at a time. So if you need to build 6 of the same item, you have to press X a lot. Despite its simplicity and rough edges, Builders gives you opportunities no other RPG can. It's uniquely satisfying to not only storm a castle and defeat its inhabitants, but to rip up their floors and staircases and steal all of their sconces and statues. Eventually, your neighbors will be tough enough to fight alongside you, joining combat and making the open fields a little less lonely. Instead of making you stumble onto new blocks and beasts in the open world, Builders introduces everything you need in a specific order that feels natural, keeping the discoveries meaningful. If the story is too constraining, you're given more freedom in a separate mode called Terra Incognita. The mode lets you expand your horizons, welcome monsters as well as humans into your compound, battle enemies in an arena, and share your creations with other players online. After each story chapter is in the books, you unlock a new island with that chapter's corresponding elements. It's here that everything comes together, and other than still needing to eat, you can express yourself without limitation. It's worth hustling through the story to get there.
Okay. So again, just making sure like it makes sense to me when I'm going through to do the VO, but you know, every now and then I'll have a brain fart and delete something or have something in there twice. So yeah, let's give this rambling. I hear a lot of chapter. So yeah, let's drop some music on this bad boy. So we're starting out. So we probably want to have something. How's the title screen? Oh, this has the main theme too. I guess I can steal that. Menu world to select. Now that's like, okay, moving on to explain other things. No, that's like explaining the game. There's the boss fight. No. It's not bad. that's like super somber. These are all so, like, these are like lullabies. Huh. We're going to coast through music selection for the rest of this, just FYI. I just can't find something that's, like, starting it. The boss fight's too much. I think it might have to be this. Yeah, I think it's this. Alright. And this will just be over the intro, so this is just going to be for one paragraph. Which is, you know, predictable, but that's what I do. Oh, that's cool. You can't see it, but the last bar on the opening actually completely finishes its animation right there, which is cool. It's just not a great opening, but so that's where I'm going to come in. So I'm coming in at just kind of this uncomfortable, abrupt spot, but the music is just very Animal Crossing that way.
By combining the environment creation of Minecraft and the story and characters from one of their oldest brands, Square...
And then you find the part where I just start to make the last point, and then you start to go out with the music.
Dragon Quest, but it brings enough...
Yank. And then just past here, you go totally out. And then you've added a song. And then you just keep doing that all the way down the line. So, figure out how long do we want to keep talking here?
Fans of both franchises...
Yeah.
Minecraft fans will recognize the tried and true format.
Do the comparison between builders and Minecraft fans.
Builders is not as unforgiving as Minecraft can be. Lava doesn't...
Okay.
is divided into 4 story chapters and a free-for-all mode.
Yeah, see, that seems like a totally different... It seems like those 3 are one block. And then this is me explaining chapters.
You have to play the chapters in order, and each one...
Chapters, chapters, chapters.
The act of piling things on top of each other...
Sounds like a new song.
Monsters roaming each island drop useful items, but not experience. Builders is also not short. Each chapter takes a couple of hours.
Sounds like those can be jammed together.
Dragon Quest Builders can be very captivating, but there's
Yep. Now we're starting to complain a little bit. That's a new song.
Despite its simplicity and rough edges, too constraining, you're given more freedom in a separate mode called
Yeah, well, sounds like a new song can cover that. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more songs. Says me. Need is a strong word. I also like to label these two. I think it was Base Day. Just going to label it so I know I've already picked that song. Puts a little lavender mark over there. Make sure I didn't miss anything huge. Again, if you want to know something, it's always good to just message at EasyAllies and I'll pick it up on the chat. Later in this episode, Brandon Jones will hunt down and murder black frames. See, I can't do that because I don't have black frames in my edits. I hunt down and murder black frames when I see them in other people's edits. I can't show you what a black frame is. All you can see are black frames. What do you see right now? Oh, you can see the audio waveforms. That's cool. Why the heck can you see the audio waveforms and you can't see the video? It's ridiculous. Well, then hold on. You can see those. Yeah, let me stretch this out a little bit. So you can see the waveforms. Yeah, going through these songs. How stupid is that you can't see? I like this little theater pyramid thing that this error has made. Okay. So then, now that we got the music going out...
stand on its own.
You can, boom, come in with another piece of music, and it doesn't sound totally weird. Hopefully. So the first track should be like introductory, where it's like, okay, this is setting the scene for the mood. You know, if it's a game like Journey, it's obviously like very majestic. If it's something like Uncharted, it dun 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 dun, you know, like very exciting. Something like Gears, lots of energy. Overwatch, super proud, triumphant. This is a little more chill. And then there's always like, you know, there's like, okay, so let's explain how the game is played. There was one that had like a little bell thing. Actually, that's not bad. I like that. Boy, have I heard this song a lot. Right there. I just set my in and out, which picks what part of the song I want to grab. This, shorten the VO clips. Shorten that to almost nil, because I'm not even going to be using that channel. Okay. We'll get in there and clean that up. These are tough to do if it's not the beginning of the song. I basically just pick a point and then do a slant, a really abrupt one. But something that's better than just a hard in. There's like a little bit of a soft fade in. Like, you know, less than a second. And especially if you got this music fading out, so it's not coming in total silence. It's kind of like a quick little mix. Then you don't really notice it.
New ideas to stand on its own.
Especially if you're looking at footage. The footage can kind of like cover stuff that your ears might pick up. Sounds okay. And here comes Brandon again.
Fans of both franchises.
And so hopefully if you have a style of like how you're going to bring music in and how you handle music in your edit, when you make edits like that, I can anticipate them, whether they're abrupt or soft or, you know, however you like to handle that stuff. The more you do, the more I anticipate them. I'll hear a song and I'll think like, okay, I expect a change coming.
Lines to golems. Minecraft fans will.
Also, there's a weird science between how close these paragraph clips need to be.
Iconic DQ monsters from slimes to golems. Minecraft fans will recognize the.
A little bit too long. Just a little. Okay.
At different workstations. Builders.
Way too quick. Whoa! What did I do? Oh no, I definitely pressed the wrong button. That was crazy. Move that all over the place. Oh, and I may have to change the size. Okay, hold on. I don't usually cut this stuff on PC, so I messed that up. There we go.
Stations.
Save.
Builders is not as recipes are fashioned at different workstations. Builders is.
I'm going to do Alt and move. There we go. Missed a new sub. Oh man, a straight up sub? Are you serious? Wario64, you're a subscriber now. Don't forget to resub next month manually with Twitch Prime, because apparently that's a thing. Yeah, Delta Kanaki and editing's funny. Like, the video isn't gray anymore. Yeah, the oh yeah, don't worry about this over there. This right here. Yeah, don't worry about that. It's just a weird little. We're just rewriting the code of Premiere. I don't know.
At different workstations. Builders is not as unforgiving as Minecraft can be. Lava doesn't kill you as fast. Builders shows you what it's made of.
Ooh, shows you what it's made of. Might sound like we need to bring in the boss here. The boss theme? When I recorded the boss theme music, I was like, I'm probably not going to use this. What's this sentence?
The game is divided into 4 story chapters.
Yeah, we need something a little more. Let me see if I can find those. That like bell sounding thing. And this was chapter 1, Wild Day. It's a real wild day. this. So that's just like a really clean opening. So it like sounds like we actually meant to have that in there.
It's made of that sets it apart.
Or meant to have the song start there. And you can see it. You know, you can see the little bell right there. Boop. It starts right there. You can start to hear it right on that frame. And hopefully you can't hear the simulated violins that are bringing us into the song.
It's made of that sets it apart.
Nope. Okay, so got to get in really close on this, I think. That sounds awful. Oh, no. That sounds like garbage. I won't have it. Oh, no. I don't know why I didn't just delete that. Or I can do... You know what I can do? No, never mind. Oh, wait. No, redo that. Redo. I'll just have more of a longer lead in. That sounds like crap. Darn it, it's a good track. That just sounds awful. Oh well. Save me, Chapter 3 bass. That's the loop. But it doesn't sound great. That's not bad. This also helps too. Get in there, find those breaks. Music's kind of tricky in this game. The loop is real hard, and the opening is tough to get because when you're, you know, you have to like go into a scene to do it, and so there's usually sound effects left over from you going into the scene, so you can't use the beginning of that because you'll hear like a menu beep or a door open or something. Like you can hear the fire there. There's some crackle in the audio. Yep, not you. Title screen's the... Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's a good track. That'll help us. Just gotta pick 3 more tracks. Ooh, I don't know if we'll have enough of this guy. And I think we're due to have this one be real short. Because the problem with these little vignettes is... like these little breaks, you know, I got this little musical intro here, and then I got this little guy right there. The problem with those is if you keep those the same length throughout your video, then you just kind of like, it just becomes very predictable. So, hey Nabeb, do you know the QW trick in Premiere when trimming clips? I guess not. The QW? Do something with QW when trimming clips? I don't know. But if I missed you before you went to bed, I hope you... Krusty Juggler subscribed 8 months in a row. Hardcore. Did Huber make it over and pick up the thing? Huber got the thing. Oh, Jones. Jones. Oliver MD, you're a subscriber now. Hopefully you're still on. And you heard that? I forgot to sing the other day when he resubbed. But he subbed while I was not online, so I missed him the first time.
That sets it apart.
So, long story short, I'm going to make this track cut out super quick, and I'm going to start talking almost right away.
Sets it apart.
Right there. Let's see if I can fit these 2 audio clips on there. I can.
The game is divided into 4 story chapters in a free-for-all mode called Terra Incognita. Each chapter begins with you planting your flag at a base in need of repair. Remodel it and more people will show up, asking you to build specific types of rooms. Think rooms.
Rooms, chapters, rooms. Chapter, monster, golem, room.
You have to play the in specific rooms. You have to play the in specific rooms. You have to play the chapters in order, and each one ends with you.
And even though I make a hard music edit, I'll still change it later because there might be a fun sound up. I might want you to hear a part of the game, a sound effect from the game, and then I got to move everything down and change it around. But like, it's still nice to just have all this stuff done ahead of time. Fun stuff. Just subscribed with Twitch Prime 2 months in a row. Thank you. Oh, nice, Oliver. Yeah, I love you too, man. N. Gasol and Daniel Warren, 8 months. Thank you, love and respect. N. Gasol, you're a subscriber now. Yeehaw. Moogly Boo. Moogly Boo's in. What's up, Boo? What's up, Boo? Boo and I go way back, folks.
We weren't expecting from each other, and sometimes casting doubt on the
I'm finally following Moogly Boo on Twitter. I didn't know you had a Twitter account. I was like, is this from the Moogly Boo?
On the decisions you have to make. Some moments have made us laugh, and
So, last sentence. Take us out.
others deal with subject matter we weren't.
Okay, 3 more songs. We can do it. Ooh, so yeah, the opening is like kind of sad. There we go. Like that. I'm going to put that over when I'm like, there's problems with this game.
Dragon Quest builders can be very
Yeah. So there's that song taken care of. And I've gotten out of the habit of marking stuff, so it's tough to figure out what I've selected and what I haven't. Menu world select. Clearing out the bottom of this list here. Title screen is no-go. Ooh, might be time for a boss fight.
The act of piling things on top of each other is...
Sure. See if that's too much. It's like... We have that music, and then I say...
The act of piling things on top of each other is smooth and intuitive.
Yeah. Nope. Doesn't work. It's kind of rough open, but we can try it.
Stacking dirt blocks.
That whole thing right there. How do you sound? Yeah. Oh boy. All these tracks were so jolly. I didn't think I'd have a problem, but like, yeah, the nighttime stuff is cool. But again, stacking blocks like doesn't really fit. Yeah, it's like, no, not for stacking blocks. He's like, come on. It's like the main theme, like slowed down. I think we already picked Sunset, right? That sounds familiar. Maybe we wanted to and backed out. Oh yeah. I think I might have to use this track, even though it's a little poop. Well, we can, you know what we can do? So there's a little fun fix-a-rooney that works sometimes.
Times casting doubt on the decisions you have to make. So
we move this back here, and this over there, and we delete this thing, and we end the track sooner. And we start bringing this track in. Hopefully you don't really notice it. But, like, we're switching to a new song in the background. We still put, like, a little bit of a lead here, but have it be, like, around the same level as the other track. And then just have it kind of slowly fade in. And then when this thing actually ends, then it pops up, but it doesn't sound weird because nothing new is coming in. It's just the track you've been listening to the whole time is getting louder.
about stacking dirt blocks. In a game about stacking dirt blocks.
But does that sound weird? Yeah, that's so
Casting
abrupt
doubt
right in the front
on the
there.
decisions you have to make. Some moments have made us laugh, and others deal with subject matter we weren't expecting in a game about...
Okay, okay, hold on. I think this went out a little bit too abruptly. I'm telling you, this is gripping entertainment here, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I still love that you're using the word jolly a lot, and we know who to blame. Thank for that. Yeah, you can blame Hubert. Man, Andre Robot, 2 months. Tall Guy Alec, what's up, Tall Guy Alec? 8 months. Hardcore. Funso, 2 months. I wish you could get a different colored S for every month. That would be so great. Backdoor Jolly Deals. Just in case you missed it, the Q trick is this. When the marker is where you want to trim to the left or right on a clip, plus Q to trim to the left and W for the right. It'll trim and adjust your timeline. Good night, all. Thanks, Jason. I will goof around with that later.
Laugh, and others deal with subject matter we weren't expecting in a game about stacking dirt blocks.
See, that makes sense of you watching that while I'm like stacking blocks. Fits it a little better. And now we got this pretty song in our review. Yay.
The act of piling things on top of each other is smooth and intuitive.
One of the solutions potentially for making this work so you can see the video too is maybe cutting this on another computer. Because I'm cutting this on the same computer that I'm streaming this on. So maybe this PC just doesn't like that. Oh, we got one more track. So close. So close to finally being able to begin the edit, basically. So let's... How does this sound?
The act of piling things on top of each other is... You don't have to stop mining when your inventory fills up. The monsters roaming each island, finding what you need, and figuring out where to put it. Builders is also not short. Each chapter takes a couple...
How long we get to until we get the next class of editing with Professor Jones? Well, I don't know. It would have to be a review. Might be a couple weeks because it would have to be a review that's super late. And I know what you're gonna say. All your reviews are super late. Haha. Quiet. But it is a good a good chance that one will come along that if I want to like delay it by a couple hours to sit down with you and stream it, that wouldn't be such a big loss. Just listen to your voice because your voice is so great. Thank you, Miles. Miles or Smiles. Miles of Smiles. Oh, hi there, Jones. Fun behind-the-scenes stuff here. Hope we aren't distracting you. You are distracting me. That's the point. That's why I'm doing this. So we can all hang out together. And you can see when I message out, I'm like, okay, I got to leave Twitter for a second. I got to cut our video. You're like, I know what that fool is doing right now.
You've completed certain activities, encouraging you to reload an older save file and find the hidden quests you missed. Or to...
see, we've already selected this piece of music, so we just grab... Oh, wait, but we haven't... No, we haven't edited that yet. Okay.
Within game days. Number of in-game days. Game days.
Game days. Game days. Game days.
In a limited number of in-game days.
Yeah. Alright.
Number of in-game days. Dragon Quest Builders. Dragon Quest Builders can be very captivating, but there's definitely room for improvement. If same item, you have to press
Bitch, bitch, moan, moan. Game's amazing. Quit your crying. Okay. One more track. Will the Bashmobile reveal itself in the review? No. I think the Bashmobile is a spoiler. I think that's why I actually am hesitant to even show boss fights. I don't think I have. What? What did I do? LOL Jones, please. What did I say? I didn't write anything about the Bashmobile. The Bashmobile is not included in the script. There's a delay, so I'm not sure what I said. Oh, I'm being mean to myself. Okay, I get it. Wah, wah. Okay, sorry. Music opening cave. Oh, I have blocked that out. Okay. Oh, wait, that's that one. What's this one, though? Base sunset. Okay. All right. What could this be? What am I talking about here? Oh, I'm just talking about, like, yeah, but, you know, there's issues with the game, but it's still fun. Not using the boss fight. Boss fight's too much. Or, actually, no. Yeah, I am going to use the boss fight. Because there's a lot of fun bosses to show in the game, and I think this audio will stretch over this track.
A lot.
See, this whole new instrument comes in. It's like, come on, they're begging to be taken out and have VO come in and explaining things. The song is asking for it. Not really. The amazing composer of this game does not need my help in any way.
Despite its simplicity and rough...
Way too early, Jones. Back it up, back it up. Oh, it was in the launch trailer? Oh, okay, never mind. I don't have footage of it, though. Like, I didn't capture footage of it, but I still can. I just realized when right before I edited, I also don't have footage of the train, because I just wasn't capturing at the time, because it was getting near the end of the chapter, and I didn't want to capture spoiler stuff.
Despite its simplicity and rough edges, Builders... Despite its simplicity and rough edges, Builders gives you opportunities no other RPG that feels natural, keeping the discoveries meaningful. If the story is too constraining, you're given more freedom in a separate mode called Terra Incognita.
That I talk about way too briefly, but it's a long review already. And then you're at the ending now.
Story to get there. Through the story to get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that popping. I'm gonna re-record that song. And what was just beeping at me? And there we go. We got a review, folks. So let's kick back. I'm going to stay away from chat for a second, or stay away from talking for a second. I'm going to let me from the past talk, and I present to you. I apologize that we're not now going to put video footage over this, which is basically the next step. So what we just did is about a quarter of the edit. Now the real heart of the edit is figuring out what footage is going to best represent all this stuff. And I'm the type of editor that tends to go sentence by sentence. So if I say something in this review, I'm going to want to show it. And if I have any one of these little musical breaks that is right before I'm going to start talking about building or the story or the combat, that break is going to be about the building or the story or the combat. But we'll get to that later. I might have to edit on another computer, or I might just have to change the settings in XSplit. But for what it's worth, here's the audio for our Dragon Quest Builders review, which will be going live probably first thing tomorrow morning. Probably opening cutscene here.
By combining the environment creation of Minecraft and the story and characters from one of their oldest brands, Square Enix has created something special in Dragon Quest Builders. You'll likely enjoy it if you're a fan of either Minecraft or Dragon Quest, but it brings enough new ideas to stand on its own. Fans of both franchises will find a lot that's familiar. The story suggests that the hero of the original Dragon Quest chose to join the evil Dragon Lord at the end, and this decision sent the world into an age of darkness. As the legendary builder prophesied to mend the kingdom's wounds, you bring light to the world one block at a time, battling iconic DQ monsters from slimes to golems. Minecraft fans will recognize the tried and true format of piling on dirt and stone during the day, then protecting your creations from monsters at night. As you venture out into the world, you discover materials allowing you to fashion new tools, weapons, and armor, which let you travel even further. You need to collect or grow food to stay alive, and different recipes are fashioned at different workstations. Builders is not as unforgiving as Minecraft can be. Lava doesn't kill you as fast, you don't drop all of your items when you die, and Chimera Wings conveniently fly you back to base. With the map divided into islands that can't be reached by boat or bridge, this world is not as wide open as randomly generated maps in other games, but it's how Builders shows you what it's made of that sets it apart. The game is divided into 4 story chapters in a free-for-all mode called Terra Incognita. Each chapter begins with you planting your flag at a base in need of repair. Remodel it and more people will show up, asking you to build specific types of rooms, think up new recipes, and head out into the world to find useful items or other survivors. During the day, the townsfolk will operate various workstations and produce random goods to lend a hand, or patrol and defend the base. Certain stations dictate the clothes they wear and weapons they wield, and you can assign people to sleep in specific rooms. You have to play the chapters in order, and each one ends with you saying goodbye to all the NPCs in your base, all the materials you've collected, and most of the recipes you've learned. This can be a shock the first time around, but it does a good job of resetting your goals, giving you a chance to start over with the skills you've acquired to build a better base with new stuff. The types of rooms and defenses you put together correspond to the plight of the local residents. People living in your base don't always get along, keeping secrets from each other and sometimes casting doubt on the decisions you have to make. Some moments have made us laugh, and others deal with subject matter we weren't expecting in a game about stacking dirt blocks.
I'm definitely thinking about stuff I'm going to change. Specifically that last track. I don't like it. Don't like it.
The act of piling things on top of each other is smooth and intuitive. Builders uses a third-person camera, sadly missing the first-person viewpoint from Minecraft. You can reset the camera to get into smaller spaces, but it doesn't always end up where you want. Unlike Minecraft, however, the shoulder buttons are used to aim up or down and strafe left and right, letting you drop rows of blocks with ease. Cladding and flooring also speeds up wall building, instantly turning columns of earth blocks into other materials. There's also an item called the Colossal Coffer that can be accessed when you're away from your base, so you don't have to stop mining when your inventory fills up. The monsters roaming each island drop useful items but not experience. Your character doesn't level up, your base does, and sometimes you need to raise its level to move on to the next quest. You take and deal more damage by building better armor and weapons, and each chapter focuses on different types. It can be horrific to watch an enemy tear a massive gash into your base, but Builders is not a tough game. If you keep on track with the story, only going where it leads, you won't face anything you can't handle. The challenge comes from finding what you need and figuring out where to put it. Builders is also not short. Each chapter takes a couple of hours to finish, and that's without adding any kind of flourish to your base. If you're like us, you'll want to spend some time experimenting with new creations like Holy Water, which turns ashen wastelands into green hills, or railroad tracks, which make getting to specific locations a lot faster. When you finish a chapter, the game checks off whether or not you've completed certain activities, encouraging you to reload an older save file and find the hidden quests you missed, or to complete the chapter in a limited number of in-game days. Dragon Quest Builders can be very captivating, but there's definitely room for improvement if Square Enix develops a sequel. The AI of your subjects can be charming, but also frustrating when they get in the way or start climbing around. Tracking multiple quests can be confusing. Combat is extremely basic. Outside of a Zelda-esque spin attack and some upgraded weapons later on, it's just a lot of bopping and slashing. The chapter-ending boss fights can be epic, but sometimes they require brand new strange mechanics that can take a bit to figure out. The day and night cycle is too short, and the transitions are abrupt. There's no rising sun or setting moon. But one misstep that still has us scratching our heads is the fact that you can only build one item at a time. So if you need to build 6 of the same item, you have to press X a lot.
Just gonna lower it. You can hear the fire of the citizens leaving.
Despite its simplicity and rough edges, Builders gives you opportunities no other RPG can. It's uniquely satisfying to not only storm a castle and defeat its inhabitants, but to rip up their floors and staircases and steal all of their sconces and statues. Eventually, your neighbors will be tough enough to fight alongside you, joining combat and making the open fields a little less lonely. Instead of making you stumble onto new blocks and beasts in the open world, Builders introduces everything you need in a specific order that feels natural, keeping the discoveries meaningful. If the story is too constraining, you're given more freedom in a separate mode called Terra Incognita. The mode lets you expand your horizons, welcome monsters as well as humans into your compound, battle enemies in an arena, and share your creations with other players online. After each story chapter is in the books, you unlock a new island with that chapter's corresponding elements. It's here that everything comes together, and other than still needing to eat, you can express yourself without limitation. It's worth hustling through the story to get there. Dragon Quest Builders is one of the best evolutions of the Minecraft model, and it features the sights and sounds of one of the biggest RPG franchises to boot. Hopefully bringing it to the States was worth Square Enix's time, because a sequel could work on a lot of trouble areas and make the journey even more immersive. If this world looks like one you'd like to make your own, don't hesitate to start chipping away.
On one of those, that's when the score will be revealed. Fade back out to a random gameplay shot.
Are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to see our other videos and consider becoming a patron to help us make more.
And that's how you edit. Audio. Editing video is a whole different thing that can be seen for me, but you cannot see. And I'll figure that out. But that was over an hour of doing some creative streaming, which we don't usually do. We're not known for our arts and crafts, stream-wise, I guess, here at Easy Allies. But I do this a lot. I do this more than anything you see me do. I'm usually just in Premiere cutting stuff because I love it. It's something that I feel that I can do for a long period of time. I was looking forward to staying up into the night with you and actually applying the video to this, but we will get to that eventually. How is Jones able to use Dragon Quest VIII music for this video intended for internet consumption? Can the music be used for material not related to Dragon Quest VIII? All this music is from the game. It's music that I took from that last track, and the end there is from the game intro. It's literally the audio that's over the game intro, so it's why it looks different. All of these other green guys are all MP3s that I brought in, where this is an MP4 because it's the audio track attached to an MP4, which is why it's blue. So, but I don't like the way it sounds. It's all crackly. So I gotta either re-record that, or I'll use the one that isn't crackly, which is from the title screen, I believe. I'll use this guy. which I think is a little less triumphant than that one, but like whatever, it's a pretty chill game. So yeah, Kaylee loves the creatives, exactly. Very entertaining stream. Thank you, Dante. So yeah, it's always fun to try new things like this because we don't know if it's something that you would want to see other versions of. It'd be fun to maybe actually do this for part of a retro or something like that to kind of like give you a little tease and show a retro ahead of time. I was going to spoil the score of Dragon Quest Builders because you were going to see it, but you can't see it, so I don't have to spoil it. So you can tune in. Although I love some people in chat were already like, "Nah, I pretty much know what this score is." This sounds like a blah. I know Jones scripts. But yeah, you can check out the full edit tomorrow, and you can hopefully kind of put two and two together, figuring out now that and again, this is a super anal way to edit. Like I like to consider all the VO first, which is pretty standard, but then I like to take care of all the music ahead of time. So I at least have a structure, and then if I want to move the music around or make stuff a little bit longer, take breaks and add sound ups and stuff like that. Cool. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how this does backing the stuff up, playing the music over and over and over again. What kind of filters do you apply on your voiceover? No filters. Just that is raw Jones. Cool, Joe Town. I'm glad I could help you a little bit. And I really appreciate all of you hanging around me while I work. I mean, this is work. I just got part of work done, so sometimes I feel like when I stream games, I'm just like hanging around playing games, and then when I'm done, I'm like, oh, well, now it's time to actually get some work done. But it's nice to get this done. So I'm gonna go pour myself a beverage, and I'm going to cut on this PC for the first time and bring some footage in and wrap up this review. And it'll put a smile on my face the whole time because I knew that you were here and you guys put your own little touch on it by chatting with me and hanging out while I did it. So, Jones, no filter. We will be back with hopefully a cooler way to do this, and the next great frontier of editing. Act 3, if you will. Act 1 being a special Cup of Jones episode. If you have not seen it, if you are not a $1 patron on Patreon, which I recommend you do, there was one episode of Cup of Jones where I read the voiceover for a Witcher expansion, I believe. So you've seen me, if you are a patron, if you're a $1 patron and you have watched previous episode of Cup of Jones, you have seen me voice this stuff, which I did before the stream. Now you've seen me cut that voiceover into the big edits, cut the voiceover and the music together, how those can be married and hopefully harmonious despite potential challenges for music that likes to loop over and over. And then the next thing is you bring the magic of the actual footage played by both myself and Mr. Ben Moore. So you will not see that process, but you will hopefully see that process again for another video. And there we go. Let me put my headphones on so I can actually roll you straight out into music. And Colossus, just right at the last second, spoil me with your resub, Colossus. Thank you, everybody, for subbing and resubing and watching tonight. And I got some work to do. I hope you have a lovely evening. I'll talk to you later.